Irvingman, watches shows sitting on his can. Tells a story, tells a joke, monetizes cause he's broke. Look out, here comes the Irvingman.
No, I'm not above bribery to get her on set. I started collecting Marvel comics seriously around 1965. I had read some of their stuff sporadically when I was littler, but a lot of it didn't hold my attention. One day, the cover of X-Men issue 33 caught my eye and I bought it. Even though it was the middle of an ongoing story, within 5 pages I knew who they all were, what they could do, and what the basic plot was. It was some good writing and hooked me immediately. Over the next several years, I amassed a complete collection of every Marvel comic ever published, starting with Fantastic Four #1 through about 1972. Yes, that even included stuff like Millie the Model. I wanted the complete collection, and to be honest, those stories were a lot better than I expected. I loved Spider-Man at once. I hated Steve Ditko's art style, but the stories and the character more than made up for it. So when it was announced that ABC was going to be airing animated series of both Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, I couldn't sit still waiting for the premiere. You didn't know there was a Fantastic Four show right alongside Spider-Man and they aired back to back? The Spider-Man show is legendary and the theme song is still played to this very day. Pretty much nobody remembers the Fantastic Four show, and there's a reason for that. It was nothing. I watched both shows faithfully and remember several things from Spider-Man. The only thing I remember from the Fantastic Four is that whereas Spider-Man had this super catchy theme song with a hook that you couldn't let go of, the Fantastic Four gave us this. That sounds as though each section of the orchestra got a different song to play. There's no cohesiveness to it. It sounds slapped together and the visuals are confusing. It sort of set the tone for the rest of the show. As I said, I watched every episode and I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of them. On the other hand, I am proud to say that however much you may love the song, however many times you may have sung along to it, there will never be anything quite like being there on that first Saturday morning, sitting down in anticipation of that first episode, and being one of the first people ever to hear this.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
It's catchy, but what gives it such longevity? Well, for one thing, it tells us all about him. Who he is, what he does, how he does it, and why. He's Spider-Man. He uses his abilities to fight crime. What gives him his abilities? Radioactive blood. Why does he do it? He's an adrenaline junkie. Oh yes, we all know all about that with great power comes great responsibility, but he internalized that forever ago. Responsibility can be a boon or it can be a burden. Fortunately, Peter has discovered he likes the thrill, he likes winning, and he likes being a smart aleck. But before we can get into the show proper, we need to set the stage for people who haven't known Spider-Man forever like I have. Peter Parker is still in high school. He lives with his Aunt May and he's every bully's dream. Not all that big, not aggressive, and tends to shy away when challenged. When he gained his spider powers, he decided to keep up that persona so nobody would suspect him of being a superhero. He started carrying his camera and taking pictures of his exploits, and he has a deal with J. Jonah Jameson, editor of the Daily Bugle. He can have exclusive access to Peter's photos pretty much in perpetuity as long as he never asks how he got them. Jonah doesn't care how he gets them, so they get along as well as anybody can get along with JJJ. Meanwhile, Peter is dating Betty Brant, Jonah's secretary.
Another of Jameson's wild goose chases. Mystery lights yet. The only lights I've seen so far are fireflies.
He's also driving on a corkscrew-type mountain road at night because Jonah sent him out there to investigate nothing, apparently.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Now you know where Jurassic Park got the idea. Unlike what happened in Jurassic Park, he changes into his Spider-Man outfit and uses his webs to make a big sling for the car so he can get it down to the ground gently.
Now for a 3-point landing.
3-point landing. I think he's trying to tell us one of his wheels fell off.
That glow. Mystery lights, maybe. It's worth checking.
Leave it to Jonah to send him to the top of the hill when the mystery lights were at the bottom.
Hey! So, Spider-Man, you're not the only one who knows how to use a web.
I have a feeling he's been waiting a long time to say that.
This is my great day. Not only does Spider-Man fall into my clutches, but my greatest invention is ready. It will give me power to rule the universe.
The universe is a big place. You can rule it, but nobody beyond this planet is going to know it.
Don't expect applause. You won't scoff when I've wiped out this whole section of the city. That's where I live.
Which is to say Aunt May is in danger. Doc Octopus says he wants to prevent any loss of life, so he sent a letter to Jameson warning him to have the area evacuated.
Signed, Dr. Octopus.
What if he really means it?
When you've been a fearless publisher like me for so many years, you'll realize the woods are full of cranks.
That was certainly effective.
Spider-Man, what did you expect, Peter Pan? You dare to mock me? Most ingenious of you.
Fair's fair. You broke his chains, he broke your web.
Be my guest.
Doc Ock took advantage of a huge sale at Traps R Us. Betty has gone out to that same corkscrew road looking for Peter. She was getting concerned, but she starts to worry when she finds his car abandoned. Time to go look for him.
Ah, a visitor. Let us welcome her properly. It's Betty.
Peter? Are you in here?
Our fair lady should be entering any moment.
Wait a second, go back.
Our fair lady should be entering any moment.
He's back in the chains, not in the cage. Not only did Traps R Us have a big sale on the various kinds of snares, they had huge markdowns on self-repairing chains, too. Octopus grabs Betty and handcuffs her to the cage bars. It's time for the villain to reveal the details of his nefarious plan.
Electronic impulses will penetrate every water, gas, and electric line in the area. This will build up shockwaves that will demolish everything. I'll set the impulses in motion.
I'll pull this lever. I'll move this handle. Then I'll do it again. I'll keep repeating this action until I am off screen.
Doc Ock turned his back. Spider-Man, no one can interfere with my plans. Looks like I caught you with your plans down.
Spider-Man's wisecracks have always been legendary. He didn't do a whole lot of it in his first appearance in Amazing Fantasy number 15, but that was his origin story. As we know, it's kind of dark. Readers flipped for the character, and he got his own comic almost immediately. That was when they started developing him and giving him this trash-talking, phrase-turning personality. Audiences loved him even more, and that love hasn't diminished a bit over the decades.
My spider senses are tingling. Something's going to...
Spider-Man, look out!
Look, your messages sure carry weight. I would have got quite a charge out of that if it had landed.
Doc Ock is throwing everything he has at Spider-Man, but he keeps missing even when Spidey climbs up the wall.
Giant ventilator fan.
Look out! No! No!
Yes!
I admit I expected Spider-Man to grab on and go, whee! So now they're both handcuffed to the bars. In the city, Jonah has a problem.
Huh? Ooh! Water lines? Where? The electrical lines. Jameson speaking. No, not to you. Huh? But the whole area will be destroyed.
Dr. Octopus.
Everything's happening just like he said it would.
Yeah, from what we can tell, he's a supervillain that the city is already familiar with. So you didn't take him seriously because...
Betty, listen closely. I'll spin my web into our handcuff locks. And when the web hardens, it'll serve as a key. As soon as you're free, hurry and look for help. The impulses will build to even greater velocity.
Don't worry, he remembered to undo his own cuffs too.
Now I'll get rid of you for good. This might change your view of things. Oh, this blasted web I can't see! And to further cement our friendship.
With enough of that stuff, you can hold him still for a while.
Compliments of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Now tell me exactly what happened.
Well, Spider-Man,
Enough! I don't want to hear another word.
In this 10-minute episode, we learned his strength, his speed, his web shooters, his spider sense, his quick comebacks, his relationship with Betty, his relationship with Jonah, and Jonah's attitude about Spider-Man. In other words, everything you need to know to get into the series, whether you knew anything about the character or not. By the end of this first episode, you know more than you even realize. This is cheesy and easy to make fun of, and it's terrific. Buried in that mountain of melted cheese is some excellent writing that does its job without you even knowing it. The voice acting is decent. Peter and Betty are kind of generic, and I could say the same thing about Dr. Octopus with the stereotype villain voice. Jonah Jameson, on the other hand, sounded pretty much exactly like my mind imagined him, and I can't tell you what a rush that was. I also like the artwork. Steve Ditko had left Marvel a few years earlier, and John Romita took over the job of drawing Spider-Man. This series copies his style, and I like it. The animation is smooth and easy to watch. We have 3 seasons of this to look at, and trust me, it's all wonderful. So settle in, grab some snacks, and let's go web swinging. Until next time. Got a different song. Don't bite yourself. Okay, editor of the Bailey Dougal. Leave it to Jonah to send him to the top. Betty has gone out to that same corkscrew lower. So settle in, grab some snacks, for